So I'm back, day 2 with Blue. If you want to follow Blue's journey, want to watch him evolve, then like and subscribe and follow me, because I'm going to do 30-minute unedited videos just to help you see the process in these early stages of his foundation. I'm Don Jessup. This is Blue. He's not very blue. He's more like a gruya colored. But his name is Blue. And we're going to work through his foundation. Now, he has some training somewhere in there, but his primary issue is he's a skeptic. So we start at ground zero and we build from there. And the very first thing, we have a formula we teach. It's called CB4. Connect, and then 4 Bs: boundaries, bonding, bravery, and basic skills. We just start with the connection. We're going to see what kind of connection we have, and we're going to grow that every day. Because rather than halter him and take him to do things, I want him to be a participant, a willing participant. So we play a game in the beginning. And the game is touch me, and then I'll touch you, and then you get a treat. And we're developing this really, really strong connection. It's not a bond yet, it's a connection. Because what he's done, and you can watch from his very first day, he touches me, and then I touch him, and then he gets a treat. The very first day he was running around. He's like, I'm not having anything to do with you guys. And he just takes off, and I have to kind of get him to face up and then connect with me. Touch, touch, treat. That's the first time he's accepted the halter coming anywhere near him, which is good. He's had some training somewhere, and it's weird to think that a horse, what looks so calm today, could have been anything but this. But the truth is, yesterday, he was very skeptical of me. He didn't think I had anything to offer. I only had things to take. And since he progressed so quickly past the connection part, we got to put a halter on for the first time. Now, he's had a halter on. He got here, obviously. It's the first time I've put a halter on him, with him truly accepting that approach. But what I don't want is for him to ever think that I'm a taker. I grab him and I take him to the arena and I take him to the saddle and I take him into work. I want him to think humans are equal partners in this. So I'm going to take this off. And what we're really trying to establish is that trust in the connection. So I'm going to walk away. He can follow me if he chooses, but he doesn't have to. And then I'm going to walk back in with the same kind of approach. I want him to truly trust this connection, this early connection. And since we ended so well yesterday, it took about 20 minutes to get to this place. We're having a great start today. And that's the beauty of it. We graduate so quickly if the foundation is there. And the first piece of the foundation in any leadership program is the connection. He has to trust the connection. And if he does, then we can carry on, put a halter on, and we can start to train the next level up. So what is the next level up? What took 20 minutes yesterday took 2 minutes today. So that means we can move forward. Next level up. I've got a connection. What comes after that? Boundaries. Basic boundaries. Nothing really extreme. All I need to know is that if he's bigger than me, I have to have some leverage of some kind. So I'm going to push him backwards first. And if he'll respond to that, helps me feel safe. He did respond to it. It was a very poor response, though. It's very sluggish and sticky. So I'm going to do it a couple of times, because repetition is the mother of skill. I want him to move away from me. And to be very specific, I don't always get this specific in my videos. I want to make sure he moves away from me, not just backwards. Does that make sense? So this is moving backwards. I go, he goes, we're walking backwards together. That's okay, but it's not the same as real boundaries. That's more like a skill they learn to back up. This is boundaries. He moves away from me and I don't move. So I create a bubble between us. Boundaries is the ability to create bubbles. You see him kind of come back into that space? So I recreate that bubble until that's really, really simple and congruent. That's it. And then he's more respectful. He's 1,000 pounds. He's probably 1,300 pounds. And he's got to know that at any given moment, I'm going to be the leader and then I'm going to be safe. So the backwards is the very first boundary. Don't just walk him backwards 10 steps. See if you can push him to arm's length and have him stay at arm's length. Then you got your first boundary. Then we come back to a connection, reward him, might even give him another treat. I usually reserve my treat for connection work and then into the big skills. Like once he develops something really cool, like he's really worked hard to get somewhere, he'll gradually get more and more treats for his work. But as long as he likes being with me, trusts being with me, and he respects my space, then we've got our most basic work done. So he's passing that. Check, check, check. This is the work we do. This is his evolution. This is something I'm going to do every single time. Every time I catch him, there's going to be a connection, a really short boundary session. And what takes 20 minutes one day will take 2 minutes the next day. So we kind of turn the pages really quickly as we develop his understanding of how to be around people. So we've got a connection, got some basic boundaries. We're going to start to evolve our boundaries a little bit. I'm going to step back away from you and do something we call clockwork boundaries. Clockwork boundaries is kind of fun. I'm going to position him. This is a positional game. I'm going to position his tail to the camera. And what that represents is 12 o'clock. On an analog clock, we have 12 at the top and 6 at the bottom. So I put my horse's tail to 12 o'clock. And then without moving my feet, I'm going to guide him around all the way around to 6 o'clock. Put his tail at 6 o'clock. Have him step back a step and wait there for me at 6 o'clock. He's responding, but the quality of his response is a little bit skeptical. I don't know if you can hear him breathing. I can hear him breathing. He holds his breath and he's like, oh no, there's the guy who's going to tell me what to do again. I need him to trust, so I'll give him a minute to really process that and think through that, what he just did. And then what I do next is work around the clock from 6 over to 9, over to 3. I go in opposite directions. Ultimately, I want him to easily position around me on cue. So give me a little bit of room here again. We're going to take him from 6 o'clock over to what would be 9 o'clock on my clock. Stop him. We got to hang on just a second because we got a dog out the end of the road. Annabelle, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. That's my girl. Get a better recall. That's right. Good girl. What a good girl. Over there. Come on.
Sorry, I'm all over the place.
That's okay. It's a challenge. As a camera woman, you're doing great.
Hey.
All right, we're back. It'd be one thing to just sort of make these videos where we only show you the good stuff. We only show you when it's working. I want you to see the whole process. I want to see it be natural and authentic. And we're going to keep them short, 30-minute sessions, so you're not stuck watching 2-hour-long training sessions. You can make a lot of progress in 30 minutes. As long as you stick to the formula, CB4, connect, boundaries, bonding, bravery, basic skills. Ultimately, we'll even be saddling and riding within 30 minutes. Right now, I just need him to move around the clock. So we're at 9 o'clock and using a short rope and the end of my rope here I'm guiding him over to 3 o'clock. Good job. Now that was not cool. As in, he got sticky and then he got rushy. He got really sort of binary there. He's gonna freeze and then he's gonna flee. So it lends to me understanding more of his personality. But what really matters is that he feels rested and rewarded in the correct position, because what I'm gonna do is practice until he's really good at that, and that, and that, and back to 12. And then I can dial it into where I'm doing shorter, like instead of 12 to 6, I'm doing 12 to 5, and I'm getting more precise. And then his stickiness goes away. We're gonna go all the way around the clock over to 9 o'clock again. I am not moving my feet for clockwork boundaries. This is a game that tests me and my skills. Ultimately, he learns to move around me, and then I have this great communication that's going to be really important when we start bonding. Come on. Now, why not, I'm going to go all the way to 6. Bond first. Why not? Establish a really strong bond with my horse first and then do boundaries because they're 1,000 pounds and I'm not. There has to be some safety mechanism installed early in their psyche in order for me to really, truly trust him as I get in there with my hands for bonding. Because when it comes to bonding and bravery, we're going to test him from all different, we're going to test him from above his back, under his back, down to his feet, behind his tail. And I have to be able to tell him to stop and face me and reposition. This is the perfect game. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, face me. Face me at 3 o'clock, face me at 9 o'clock, and I can line his body up so he learns positioning at an early stage. And if I don't move my feet too much, I can pivot, but most of my work is coming from my hands, the directional cues. I'm gonna push him back with the rope a little bit here. It's a little bit different technique. That was kind of sticky and heavy, but we did get there, so I'll acknowledge it with a connection. Try that again. Again, sticky and heavy, but we got there, so we acknowledge it. And this is definitely going to be something we're going to practice every day. Good question. Why do I put my hand in there? The universal gesture for stopping, if I'm not a horse person, is to throw my hands up. If I bring my mother, who's in her 80s, out here to pet the horses and the horse spooks or gets pushed by another horse towards her, her instinct is going to be to lift her hands. And if my horse understands that gesture, it kind of makes the basics with new people pretty apparent for the horse. Just throwing up your hand starts to mean something to him. Now it was at 6 o'clock and he's drifting around. So this is the perfect opportunity to say, come back to 6. Prove to me you can stand your ground here at 6. Not at 6:30, not at 7. Right here at 6. And rest and wait for me. Now here's where we get in a lot of trouble as trainers, especially professionals, get in the most amount of trouble with this. You'd think novices would. Novices can, but professionals get in trouble here because they're so good, they're so qualified. I'm so handy with my moves that I think he's got it. Now let's move on to the more advanced things. But the truth is, he doesn't have it. He's really resistant, he's taken a lot of pressure, and then he does finally get it and he gets rewarded. But it needs to be smoother. If I'm truly going to win over his respect, these boundaries have to be very, very, very smooth. Notice I'm going to reach in and connect with him pretty often, pretty regularly, because I'm not just forcing him to do things, I'm still establishing that we are together and that you can trust my touch. So I'm going to do a few more boundaries and bonding, or boundaries on the clockwork here. We're We're gonna go up to 3 o'clock. And we're gonna line him up, back him up a step because I don't want him crowding me. There we go, and we're gonna reach for that connection again. Good job. So if I'm comparing how we start versus how we end and what the middle feels like, come on, girl. It's very apparent that it's getting better, slightly. It's over there. Good girl. Dog training and horse training. Okay. Here we go again. Those little rests, you know, dogs being a distraction right now. You think, I am gotta focus on my horse. You can actually relax about that. In fact, use it as opportunities to kind of stop and reset and think and not be in such a hurry all the time. I'm keeping these sessions down to 30 minutes to show you that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to get really good at the basics and then get a little bit better, and then they start happening sooner, and then you can add more onto your plate. He has to pass these things effectively in order for me to advance. And if I'm in a hurry, I'm going to fool myself into thinking I'm doing a great job. Belle, stay here. I want to go up to 9 o'clock. Good. It's getting easier. That was so light. Got distractions. Perfect. I've got a neighbor down there practicing rifle practice. So I need him to drift away from me. Down back to 6 o'clock. Perfect. That's so much easier. Still took the pressure of the rope. And one day I'll be able to do it without any rope pressure. I'll just guide him around with one hand. But it's becoming lighter. He's becoming clear about what I want. Let's move over to 3 o'clock. He's facing up really easily. He's still got to work on that back up. He feels that pressure from me. And it's like he understands it, but it's a low level of understanding.
Why do you keep wiggling the rope?
Why do I keep wiggling the rope? Good question. I just want him to step back. And I can release on every step, or I can get him all the way to where I want him and then release. Technically, you're going to get a lot of nuance in that if you really study horsemanship. Right now, I'm just setting really a basic tone, like step back to a certain point, step over to a certain point, and you're going to get a release. Okay? She gone? Okay, okay. We got a nice lick and chew from him. Which means he's starting to kind of process and think. He's letting go of the tension in his face enough to sort of to relax. We do have some distractions. This is perfect. This is real life. We're not going to get this perfect experience every time. And if you're trying to take all the distractions away just so you can ride or do something else, you just go back to the basics. Just let the distractions be and get your basics right. Let's see if I can have a connection with him. Does he reach for me? He does. I can touch him. You can get a treat for that connection. Very good. We are done for the day. We're going to come back in another session and reset these boundaries and the bond and the connection. We're actually going to start on the bonds. If you want to follow Blue and his journey, then subscribe. Like and subscribe. Follow me here. We're going to see how Blue evolves in an unedited fashion. And I know we live in a world where edited perfection is what we all seek, especially as a professional. I want to give you the raw experience. I'm going to take his halter off, trying to get him to lower his head for that, so he learns not to pull up and run away. And last but not least, I'm going to do one more touch, treat. And we get this really beautiful ending to our experience today. If I have lots of days like this, I'm going to have a very successful evolution with him. Thanks for following. I'm Don Jessup. I'll see you soon.